I love to bake, so when I found out my husband's place of employment was having a Thanksgiving party with a baking competition for the ladies, I was super excited. Not only will this video keep us in the kitchen a ton, but I'm also going to take you along as I get ready for the evening and the outfit that I wore that you guys actually suggested to me in a previous video. So tonight my husband's place of employment is having a Thanksgiving party and it's gonna be so much fun. They are providing all the meat and I think like apple cider and stuff like that, but they're asking the employees and their families to bring a dish to pass, which I'm gonna be making a really healthy sweet potato casserole later this afternoon. But here is the fun part, and I'm surprised at my competitive spirit right now because I'm usually not super competitive. The wives of all the employees are supposed to bring a dessert and there's gonna be a little dessert competition. So I am currently cracking some eggs here, separating out the whites because I'm gonna be making angel food cake, homemade angel food cake with farm fresh eggs. I actually love to make angel food cakes and they usually turn out really good. I am actually going to be making two because I'm gonna make a normal one for everybody and then I wanna make a gluten-free version for myself so that I can have a dessert as well. So I'm actually gonna make the gluten-free one first. Right now I'm getting the eggs going for that. I need about a dozen eggs. It's 1.5 cups of egg whites. So it just depends on how much white is in these eggs. I've got some big yolks in some of these farm fresh eggs. But usually when I make my cakes, I just dust the top with powdered sugar and it's so pretty. It just looks like a dusting of snow on top. But since I'm feeling a little competitive, I decided I wanted to make it aesthetically a little bit more unique. We will see how it goes. I'm gonna show you after I get this cake popped in the oven, some of the stuff that I bought and I'm so excited. I've never been in a baking competition before, so this is really fun. So for angel food cake, these are actually the only ingredients I need besides the 1.5 cups of egg whites that I just finished preparing. So powdered sugar, flour, and yeah, this one's gonna be gluten-free. Next one will be regular flour, cream of tartar, vanilla, and sugar, and that is it. After I have my 1.5 cups of egg whites sitting in the bowl, I measure the flour and powdered sugar and that gets sifted together 3 times. Then I add 1.5 teaspoons of cream of tartar and 1 teaspoon of vanilla to the egg whites and prepare the sugar. The egg whites do take a little bit of time to beat. They start to get foamy and white, and eventually you will get some soft peaks forming when you turn off the mixers. Right here you can see how they tip over. That's when you start adding the granulated sugar a little bit at a time, and you just keep on mixing and mixing until eventually you get stiff peaks forming, and that's when you know it's ready. At this point, you start adding the flour and powdered sugar mixture. You usually add that in quarters, just a little bit at a time, and fold it in gently. You don't want to vigorously stir. Once that's all incorporated, you put it in your ungreased angel food cake pan and then run a butter knife through it just to get out any air bubbles and kind of smooth it out. Then it's ready for the oven. It bakes at 350 degrees for about 35 minutes. Okay, cake number 1 is in the oven. It looks like it's gonna be super, super good. So I have to show you what I got to make things pretty, but first, I don't have any good way to transport 2 cakes. So when we were shopping at Hobby Lobby a few weeks ago, I ended up getting these plastic cake trays. I think there's 2 in here, and then some cake boxes. I've never used these before, but that will be a really good way for me to transport these cakes and keep them safe. Usually if I'm like bringing them to church potluck or something, I just stick them on a dinner plate and throw some plastic wrap over top, but that is kind of messy looking. Since it's a competition, I have to like level up my aesthetics here, right? I don't know, it's just fun.
So you can level up your aesthetics
mean, I guess I could, huh? You're so funny. The other thing I got, I'm gonna show you. These are edible leaves. They're made with rice, like rice paper or something like that. So since it's fall, Thanksgiving, I just thought it would be so pretty to, I'm gonna take some out and see if I can show you. There's all these little edible leaves here that I thought I might try to put on the cake. They're not sticky at all, and I typically don't put any kind of frosting on my angel food cake, so I'm not sure. If they don't just like stick and stay pretty, I might just mix up like some powdered sugar and milk just to make like a paste for the back of them and kind of stick where I want them. I'm not really sure. I am not like a cake decorator by any means. I'm just gonna experiment. Hope it looks pretty, but I don't know, they're just cute. They are in multiple sizes and colors. I love them so much. Amazon actually said they don't have a taste to them, so I don't know. I'm really excited to try to put that together. Hopefully it works. And the other thing I ordered was this box of little, I forgot what they're called, but just these little flags to label. They were way smaller than I was expecting, but I wanted to...
Sticks.
Yeah, they're little toothpicks. I wanted to put some type of label on the gluten-free cake, so I am just gonna take a pen or marker or something and write gluten-free on this and stick it in that cake that's gluten-free. So it'll be an easy way to keep that labeled and marked separate from the other cake. Yeah, we're gonna decorate these later this afternoon once they're cooled off, and hopefully it works. Time will tell. I've been so excited to do this. These are just so cute. That'll be super fun.
We only got red because red is our favorite
Red,
color.
yeah, there's red and like yellow and brown. I feel like they look really natural. So yeah, and you think they look fake up close?
Well, like if you have them on like the side.
The back is just white. Yeah.
Just
But it'll be fun though, won't it, Eve?
yeah.
Yeah, so all right, so for now, that cake is baking. I'm gonna get some housework and chores done, and then when that is cooled off and out of the pan, I will get started on the next one. Angel food cakes are supposed to cool upside down in the pan, so I just flip mine over and put those little notches on pot holders and leave it on the counter to cool. All right, cake number one is cooling on the counter here. It looks like it turned out really, really well. Sometimes when the gluten-free ones cool off, they do get a little bit lopsided. So I guess time will tell what it's gonna look like when I flip it over, but so far, so good. I'm gonna go outside and get the horse manure shoveled for the day, a few boring chores done, and while that's cooling, and then we will start making the second one. As much as I love the baking, I think I love my barn time even more. It was such a beautiful day to just go outside and get a break from the hot, messy kitchen and enjoy the horses. This one in particular is my very special mare. She's 30 years old, and I've had her since she was 3. So I'm not really sure the dress code for the party tonight. I don't think there really is one, but I'm guessing it's not gonna be super formal. It is like, you know, they're making apple cider while we're there, and all the families are welcome, the kids, and so it's just gonna be a really good time. So I've been trying to decide what I wanted to wear. I was kind of leaning more towards denim skirt and hoodie maybe, but I was thinking maybe a hoodie would be a little too casual. I just don't know. So I am actually going to take one of you guys' suggestions from the video I posted 2 weeks ago on winter modesty and thrifting. And I had thrifted this green dress, if you remember, if you watched that video. If not, I will link it below for you guys to check out. But I tried this dress on with a brown 3/4 sleeve shirt underneath it, and one of you suggested in the comments to try throwing a sweater over the top for a different look. So I think that is what I'm gonna do. I'm excited to give it a try. Hang on just a second. I'm gonna pop this sweater over top of it. It's super wrinkly. I've got to get this ironed before the evening. So it keeps falling off the hanger. This is not a very good hanger. I changed it because the other one wasn't working well either. But this is kind of the look. It's kind of hard to show on the camera. Yeah, I'm gonna try this on later. I think it looks adorable. I am not sure how it's all gonna lay when it's on. So when it's time to get ready, I will change into this. I'm just in work clothes this afternoon for chores and baking, so I don't get this dirty. I don't think I'm gonna put a shirt underneath the dress, just the sweater over. I think I would get possibly overheated. The weather's been crazy. Well, earlier this week on Monday, we had like a foot of snow, and it's Friday now, and it's supposed to be in the mid 50s. As you saw when I was outside, the sun is just shining. It's beautiful, but of course, the sun sets early this time of year, and when it does, it will for sure cool off. So this should keep me comfortable and warm, but maybe not overheated. So anyway, thank you for this suggestion. I can't wait to give this a try, and I will try to show you guys what it looks like all put together later this afternoon. After I brought this dress home from thrifting, I checked the washing instructions out and discovered that it was actually 100% cotton. That was a really cool surprise, but with that comes extra wrinkles, so I certainly needed to get a good ironing job done on it before I could wear it for the evening. Okay, the cake is cooled off here, and I'm gonna go ahead and pop it out of the pan and stick it on the little tray and in the box, and then get that second cake started. Since you don't grease an angel food cake pan, you have to take a butter knife between the cake and the pan and loosen it out. It's not that difficult. It's very satisfying when it pops out of the pan completely and flips over and looks so pretty. Next step is to dust it with some powdered sugar. For the time being, I decided to just pop it in the box and cover it up and do the decorating a little bit later. Okay, we're gonna turn a little bit. It's a little messy in here from lunch still, but I am gonna get the second cake going now, and hopefully it turns out good too. Okay guys, I am not going to go through all the steps again for the second time, but this cake is going to be my regular one, not gluten-free. I realized that I didn't mention the flour and powdered sugar measurements, so it is 1 cup of flour and 1.5 cups of powdered sugar, and I use that ratio for this cake as well as the gluten-free one. All right, next cake is in the oven. I really just want to unbox the gluten-free one and decorate it right now with all the leaves and stuff, but my house is a disaster. My kitchen is a mess. I've got laundry waiting on me, so I'm gonna get all that kind of stuff done while the second cake bakes, and then I'm gonna sit down and enjoy the process of decorating the cake that's cooled off and not be thinking about all the things that I need to get done. So we'll get those things done, come back and have some fun. Cleanup is not my favorite part, but I was just remembering when I was a young girl and my mom would want me to bake, which I loved doing, and we would have this thing where I would do the baking and then mom would come through and clean up the kitchen afterwards. It was the perfect solution for both of us. And even though the cleaning isn't the fun part, I do love a clean and organized space, so it's definitely worthwhile taking the time to get things straightened back up before doing the next thing. Okay, the other cake has about 5 minutes left in the oven, so I thought, and I got my kitchen clean, the laundry's caught up, so we are gonna take the lid off the gluten-free one and start playing around with it just for a couple minutes while I get the other one out, and then we'll come back to it. All right, I have to take it out of the box. Oh, it shouldn't be too bad. The other one in the oven I just looked at, and it is definitely rising more. It's a lot lighter, the gluten-free version. Let me put this down just a little bit. The gluten-free version doesn't get quite as fluffy, which is just fine. Okay. So I was thinking I would need to like paste them on, but the cake has natural cracks in it. So what if I just kind of poke them into the cracks like that? Do you want to set that one right in here? Just kind of gently push it down. I don't know how many to do. Hold on, don't keep going. I want to know if I'm gonna make it. I don't know, guys. No, don't move them once they're in.
3 here, 1 here, 1 big one over on the other side, then 3 around there.
I don't know. I was kind of thinking just like part of it, like a section. I might only use the tiny ones. Okay. I don't know. And then we could even just leave it just like that. And then, oops, that was all fell out.
Like,
put gluten-free on my little sign and stick it in there.
Yeah.
It's not easy being gluten-free, but there's so many good options out there for me these days, as well as some fun experiments that I've been able to do in the kitchen. I've learned a lot of gluten-free baking tips over the years.
Okay, so second cake is out of the oven. I cannot decide how exactly I want to do this cake over there, the decorating with the leaves. I don't know. For now, I have got to put a bunch of sweet potatoes in the oven for the sweet potato casserole that I'm going to be bringing along too. So it's one of those recipes, you know, you're supposed to peel and chop and then boil them and mash them. You guys, that is such a waste of time. Just pop them in the oven, bake them, and then scoop out the insides. It's way quicker.
This recipe is absolutely fantastic. It takes about 4 pounds of sweet potatoes, and I actually found this recipe in just a random catalog that came in our mail a long time ago. It was for some exercise equipment or something, so it's a really, really healthy sweet potato casserole recipe that is so delicious. When the sweet potatoes are all cooked up and ready to be mixed together, I'll show you guys how I do it. For now, the day is going along well. The bulk of my cooking and baking is done, so I went ahead and got changed into this outfit. It came together perfectly. I absolutely love it, and I'm so thankful for the suggestion that you gave me.
I really like this. Thank you for the idea.
Okay, I don't usually spend a ton of time doing my hair. It is a lot of work to be a curly girl. If you are one, you know what I'm talking about. But I decided to put a little more effort into it this evening, and I just kind of pinned up half of it into a little bun, and then I took some curl cream and ran it through some of those curls to try to reduce the frizz, which is a never-ending battle. Sometimes a random curl will just crack me up. You just never know how it's gonna dry and lay from day to day. It's always an adventure. I decided to wear a simple pair of earrings, which I don't do very often, and then I put on my horsehair bracelet. This bracelet was made from the tail hair of a very special horse of ours that passed away several years ago.
All right, these sweet potatoes are done now. I'm gonna give them a little bit of time to cool off, and my second angel food cake is ready, so I'm gonna pop that out of the pan and get started on decorating that one.
It was a lot of fun decorating the cakes. They didn't turn out quite how I had envisioned, but in the end, I loved what they looked like. They were very festive. Well, the cakes are all boxed up and ready to go. It's time to get this sweet potato casserole finished up. First, you just scoop out all the sweet potatoes, pop them in a pan. I added, maybe 3/4 cup of agave nectar to this, and then about a half a cup of coconut milk. After that, I got some vegan butter melted. I think about a half a stick is what I put in there, and added some vanilla and sea salt. Then I added 1 egg at a time, 4 in total, and mixing the eggs in and then baking it in the oven really gives this casserole kind of a custardy, maybe pumpkin pie type texture. It is so, so good.
I really don't like that I have to put it into my crock pot, but I have done that several times when I take this sweet potato dish elsewhere. When we're hosting here at home, I just leave it in the pan. Sometimes I'll melt some marshmallows on top just for fun. But for tonight, I definitely need to transfer it in something that it'll stay extra warm in. So I'm gonna throw it in the crock pot real quick.
Everything was ready and it was time to go. We were the first to arrive, but there were so many more desserts that came in after us. It was a really, really great time, and all the ladies got to bring home these beautiful little bouquets of flowers.
Good morning. It is the next day. We had so much fun at that party last night, but I must humbly admit defeat. I did not win the dessert competition. Totally fine, you guys. It was just really fun. The winning dessert was a caramel apple cheesecake. Doesn't that sound amazing? I wish I could have tried it, but with my food allergies, I was not able to. But we had a really good time. They also had a setup to make apple cider, so we were helping a lot with that and brought about a gallon home that we're gonna heat up and enjoy later today. The guys are actually out in the woods hunting right now. It's opening day of rifle season here in Michigan, and I also have some homemade cinnamon rolls rising in the oven right now for the guys when they all come in. It's just gonna be a really nice weekend with family, and yeah, I think I'm gonna leave you guys here and we will see you next week. Bye.